The New World. It happened in the blink of an eye. To put it metaphorically, suddenly the virus had made its home in the body of more than hundreds, if not thousands, of people in the different countries around the world. The coronavirus that started in the city of Wuhan, China, followed its natural course, ignoring borders, customs, and tariffs. It has only been 1 year the order to shelter in peace has taken effect, but already it's clear that life will not return to normal soon. When this health crisis abates, we will be in a new world. Digitally divide will become a chasm. Everyone shifted to working and learning online. Healthcare for all becomes more standard view. Home buyers will increase dramatically. Investors are likely to revert to more interesting closer to home. After any prolonged period of crisis, there is a strong desire for rebirth and renewal. After a war, there is a post-war boom. The citizens of a country that has been at a war weary of death and destruction, and with peace comes a second chance at life and a tremendous burst of creative energy and economically building. Hopefully that rebirth is also part of a new world.
Humankind is going through a new and unprecedented experience with the rapidly spreading COVID-19 pandemic. We still do not know who patient zero, the first person to be infected and transmit it to others, was. The entire humankind is going through a humanitarian revolution, the kind that has occurred only thrice before. First, after the discovery of fire, second, with the advent of agriculture, and third, following the Industrial Revolution. The most prominent sign of this fourth revolution is the predominance of new technology and the supremacy of modern means of communication, which has spawned a conflict between two major concepts of using the internet. This pandemic will radically change the modern world, leading to three likely outcomes. The first outcome would be the emergence of a new theory called the theory of achievements, where the traditional legitimacies of the systems of the government would end. The second outcome would be the end of the conflict between the wrong information and the right information, and will transform into a conflict between convincing information and unconvincing information. The third outcome would be monitoring people internally rather than externally, which has already happened in China. So the post-epidemic stage will see the emergence of a new human being, whose daily behavior and thinking will differ from what it was before the COVID-19 outbreak. The political, legal, and economic systems will have to adapt to this new human being. So behold, a new world at the threshold.
The article reflects the aftermath situation of the pandemic in the global arena. The relationship between China and the other superpowers are seen deteriorating, and today's standoff between US under Donald Trump and China under Xi Jinping was compared to the foothills of a new Cold War by former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger. The pandemic hasn't so much changed the world as thrown a brutal spotlight on the flaws, deficiencies, and despair both for the international order and national order. And where there has been flaws and weaknesses, the pandemic has ripped through with particular brutality. The defining issue now is not just how the US responds to the challenges of China's rise, but whether middle players including India, Australia, Japan, and Europe are prepared to take risks to defend the international order and to work together in doing so.
Coronavirus pandemic have changed our lives drastically. Local economic, social spheres as well as global spheres have been challenged heavily, and some sectors have been drastically dismantled. However, did the pandemic only bring negative impacts, or did it bring positive impacts as well? Well, the pandemic have severely affected giant countries, leading to closure of many apparel industries, giving way to traditional small-scale local industries. Owing to the crisis, medical systems in different countries have also been improved. Another major positive impact could be the decline in defense expenditure at the national and global levels. This may result in a change in global hegemonic power and a new hegemonic power relations in the world, thus paving ways for new and faster developments worldwide. Owing to the crisis, the world suddenly came to a standstill, resulting in healing of the nature and drastic reductions of pollution all over the world. The coronavirus pandemic is unlike any economic challenge that the world have faced so far. But with the help of the government and the people together, a speedy recovery is possible worldwide.
Called Dedication by Precious Stone Lingdom. We tempted to have dreams of luxury, but desire contributes more dignity. When we seek of price, but yet delay, patience requires most dedication. In crises like this, we more prevalent, but heard the unwilling tones. We greet but doubt the achievement. We feign collapse when destiny run. Thank you.
What the Last Evening Will Be Like by Edward Hirsch. You are sitting at a small bay window in an empty cafe by the sea. It's nightfall and the owner is locking up. Though you are still hunched over the radiator, which is slowly losing warmth. Now you are walking down to the shore to watch the last blues fading on the waves. You have lived in small houses, tight spaces. The walls around you kept closing in, but the sea and the sky were also yours. No one else is around to drink with you. From the watery fog, shadowy depths, you are alone with the whirling cosmos. Goodbye, love, far away, in a warm place. Night is endless here. Silence infinite.
One Art by Elizabeth Bishop. The art of losing isn't hard to master. So many things seem filled with the intent to be lost that there is no disaster. Losing something every day, except the fluster of door keys, the hour badly spent. The art of losing isn't hard to master. Then practice losing farther, losing faster. Places and names and where it was meant to travel, none of this will bring disaster. I lost my mother's watch and I look my last or next to last of 3 loved houses went. The art of losing isn't hard to master. I lost 2 cities, lovely ones and vaster. Some realism I owned 2 rivers, a continent. I missed them, but it wasn't a disaster. Even losing you, I shan't have lied. It's evident the art of losing not too hard to master, though it may look like disaster.
In the time of plague, we keep indoors. When we dare to venture out, we are cautious. Our neighbors smile, but in their eyes there is reserve and suspicion. They keep their distance as we do ours in mute accord. Much of our fear is unspoken, for there is at last the weight of custom, the tender of road's consolation. We endure thoughts of demise and measure the distance of death. Death too wears a mask. But consider, there may well be good in our misfortune. If we can find it, it is hidden in the darkness of fear. But discover it and see that it is hope and more. It is the gift of opportunity. We have the rare chance to prevail, to pose a resolution for world renewal. We can be better than we have ever been. We can improve the human condition. We can imagine, then strive to realize our potential for goodness and morality. We can overcome pestilence, war, and poverty. We can preserve our sacred purpose. We can determine who we are in our essential nature and who we can be. We are committed to this end for our own sake and for the sake of those who will come after us. there is a better future and we can secure it. Let us take up the task and let us be worthy of our best destiny. A poem by N. Scott Momede. Thank you so much. I am Pareza Naushad of BA Political Science first semester.